was an MOS to begin with in agriculture, then moved to finance, and now he's being sworn in again. Gaurav, a word from you on him.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the two finance MOS in finance representing Rajasthan, Gajendra Megwal and then Mr. Shekhawat. It's going to be interesting to see whether he actually gets the agriculture ministry or gets into finance. But he had some role to play in the conceptualization of the PM Kisan.
Two things about him. One, he's the most famous Kora person in India.
Most famous Kora person.
Two, he spends more nights in the train than on the land. So he travels overnight from his constituency, that is Jodhpur to Delhi, attends this and goes back. So he spends almost around 160 days in the train.
Well, that's the beauty. I think that's where the reason why we're seeing the Bharatiya Janata Party become what it has become is exactly because of the kind of leaders that you're seeing on your television screens. Gajendra Singh, Shekhawat, Piyush Goyal, Prakash
About the
Javadekar.
Girija Singh. So then I asked him, why have you grown this? And he says, if the cow eats this, the production of the milk increases. And then I checked with somebody in Pusa.
Yeah. But you know, we're looking at Gajendra Singh Shekhawat right now. Gajendra Shekhawat, I do believe he'll have an important role to play, because whenever I've interacted with him right through these 5 years, whether it's a straightforward off-record conversation, a casual chat, he really structures his thoughts. His ability to come up with PowerPoint presentations, and maybe what you're saying, Viniji, it fits well with his description that he's India's most famous Kora-based politician, because he takes a lot of questions, and he once told me that he takes a lot of inputs. He takes a lot of inputs. Now,
Santosh Gangwar.
so all the ministers, all the leaders who've taken oath so far, full-fledged cabinet ministers, now comes the turn of ministers who are being sworn in with independent charge. Ministers of state with independent charge. Santosh Gangwar. What a fascinating story of Santosh Gangwar. Again, a story which is not often spoken about. He comes from Bareilly and has won, I think, almost 8 times. one of the most unspoken about stories of Indian politics is people like Vilasa Mutemwar from Maharashtra or Santosh Gangwar from the state of Uttar Pradesh. I mean, just imagine, an 8-time MP.
I had an opportunity to attend an event where he was actually a chief guest, but the subject matter expert from the CA community was speaking. So he came down, sat in the audience seat and started taking notes. When I asked him why, he said, "Acha bata rahe, kuch padhne mil raha hai." And you can understand, even when you are a minister, you try to take notes so that you can learn. That reflects the mentality of the person, where he thinks he is a student always. So Kaga Baksha, that slogan which is there, where a student always learns from that. So I think probably fits him the best.
You know, it's good to see. I must say, it's good to see people like Mr. Gangwar being included again in the Union Council of Ministers. But I wonder, Gaurav, so I look at the number of people who are being given cabinet posts. Even a Gajendra Shekhawat today is going to be a full-fledged cabinet minister. But why not a Santosh Gangwar?
Correct. I think he's going to be given independent charge, and this is
this is MOS independent charge. But you know, there is a difference
given
between
the fact, and that's a very good question. Very
charge.
good question, because he's a very, very senior parliamentarian, and he has a remarkable floor management experience in Parliament. He has been a very able parliamentary affairs minister and a very able junior minister to Arun Jaitley when he was in the Ministry of Finance, and also in Labour. He should have gone, and this is a bit of a surprise that why he hasn't got a full cabinet.
Because I remember spending some time with him during the 2017 assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, and he was making this point that, you know, I bring in so much of experience, but sometimes there is a feeling that I can be of greater importance just to be between people. Inderjit Singh, another important individual, now being sworn in as a Minister of State with the independent charge. He too, Gaurav, in the outgoing government, he too has had an important role to perform.
Correct.
Yeah. Whether it was in terms of putting up RTIs, when not many people know this. When the BJP was in opposition, he was busy putting in a lot of RTIs.
Correct.
Was the architect of exposing many alleged scams in the defense sector.
That's
now, Inderjit Singh now set to take over as a Minister of State
for independent charge. So the portfolio that he eventually gets is going to get very interesting.
Why do you say that?
Because he has experience both in planning and defense. And I would not be surprised if actually we get an independent minister in the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, given the fact that the government is caught in a controversy over
Vinit, there is a feeling, the more I'm looking at the people who are being sworn in, there is a feeling that this entire process of formulation of ministries, it could well undergo a sea change. Are you picking up anything that the way we've looked at ministries function, maybe ministries could be bundled up, maybe ministries could be unbundled? Is that a possibility?
In 2014, it was the first time when we saw road, shipping, transport coming together. And now we see commerce and aviation goes together with somebody. So there are chances there will be bundle. Even I'm just dreaming. I don't have any access right now. I'm with you here. It would be good in the interest of the country if you bundle up some organizations.
And maybe what has been spoken about. Shripad Naik there now taking charge again as an independent minister. Shripad Naik also an important cog in the wheel for the Bharatiya Janata Party government. Gaurav?
Yeah, and definitely because he has been a very long-term serving member of the BJP, very old hand. He has got a promotion actually.
4-term Lok Sabha MP.
He's
I
got
mean, there is some experience which is there within this government. So it's not and it's good to see, typically it was felt that MPs fight to ensure that a government gets formed and then members of the Rajya Sabha end up becoming all too powerful. Not this time around with this Sarkar.
But with this, I mean, so far, going by the number, the kind of people that have taken notes so far, the terms and the experience in Lok Sabha, parliamentary experience, clearly is not correlated to whether you're getting a cabinet berth or an MOS independent charge. But
yeah, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Vinitji? That it's not just about how big you win, it's not just about how many terms you've won, but it's also is there some performance report card which the Prime Minister has got for all these individuals?
It's not only about performance. As I said, the need of the country. Probably we are standing at a juncture where the country has to take a leapfrog jump. The cabinet decides how the country will progress. And I think the mixture which has been brought here are the people who can deliver in this 5 years. 19 to 24 will be crucial for India as such, because we are seeing change in the geopolitics across the globe.
Well, Dr. Jitendra Singh, now the MP from Jammu, now taking over as a Minister of State with independent charge, was a minister in the outgoing government as well. And Jitendra Singh now, again, someone who's had an important role as far as formulation of the Jammu and Kashmir policy with the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. And it'll be interesting to see now that the BJP had snapped off its ties with the PDP. What kind of a role does Jitendra Singh have? He was an MOS PMO and has had the years certainly of Amit Shah. Gaurav, a word from you.
And also one underrated, underreported thing about Jitendra Singh is that he was also the minister in charge of the Department of North-Eastern region, and a lot of development, and the Modi government's first term, there was a lot of focus in North-Eastern region, for which a large part of the credit should be apportioned to him, which probably is not given
It's the nuts and bolts approach. What I'm looking at, Vineet, is there are many people in the list of ministers who've all been sworn in, whether it's a Dharmendra Pradhan, whether it's a Piyush Goyal, or a Dr. Jitendra Singh, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. Yes, these people are important figures in their own respective states and their own respective ministries. But these are also individuals who can be fantastic party workers if they need be. Is that a fundamental difference today between the Congress and the BJP?
Of course. I'll share something about Jitendra Singh ji and Dr. Harshvardhan.
No, just Jitendra Singh. Let's just stay with the pictures here.
He understands geospatial technology. Now, how many of the people in this studio or people who are watching this would understand geospatial is the 4th generation technology? And when I shared dais with him at Hyderabad convention, and I was amused to see that the way he was fluently understanding the technology and speaking about that. And he was one of the key guys when the satellites went up. So I think he understands technology the way a youngster of 18 years or 19 years understands.
I think there is a clear-cut focus which the Prime Minister is making. And that's why I was asking this question, whether there is some kind of a report card which the Prime Minister has got. Because I remember last Saturday when the Prime Minister was in Parliament, when he was speaking to the NDA Parliamentary Party meeting, he did say that right now I'm only getting figures and I'm only getting report cards of who has won by how many votes and who has lost wherever. And it's only thereafter that I'll be able to make up my mind in terms of who should be a minister and who should not be a minister.